Everyone, it's Emily Fox. The Goodreads Choice Award has officially began the first round of votes. So I haven't looked yet at the nominees. We're going to do this live. I was doing my skincare. Moisturizer has not even started yet. So we're going to go look at each categories. I'll let you know which ones I am voting for. We're going to maybe make some predictions, which ones I think are going to win. And most importantly, I will be adding some of these to my TBR, my to be read pile. Maybe I will even have the chance to read a couple more before the final round arrives, and we're gonna just judge and chit chat as always. I have a feeling I haven't read that many this year just because I was focusing so much on decluttering my shelves, going around and reading whatever I had on there for way too long and getting rid of the ones I wasn't enjoying and then focusing on the ones that I was loving. But let's see what I will be reading next year. Oh, they've added the category audiobook. That's nice. I feel like over the years, they've removed a lot of categories and they've been finally adding some. I mean, they added Romantasy last year and now this year, audiobook. I like audiobooks. Okay, we're going to go in order. So fiction. I don't feel like I have read any, but let's see. Ooh, from what I see, I do have Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty on my TBR. It should be one of my next audiobooks. So I should have time to read it before the final round. That could be good. I wasn't going to read anything else by her because I had really liked Big Little Lies, and everything else I had tried, like 2-3 more books by her, I couldn't even finish them. So, but that one I'm looking forward to. I did read another Ellen Elderbrand this year, and I realized she's not for me, so I don't think there's anything. I haven't read anything. Oh, I do have Welcome to the Hunyamdong bookshop because a lot of you told me to try it whenever I had tried and did not like Days at the Murakami? Not Murakami. The other bookshop, I'll put it on the screen, which was not good. So I'm looking forward to trying that one because you guys told me to. I like small bookstore stories, so I'll try that one. I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna read the new Sally Rooney, but I did not like Normal People, and I said I wasn't going to read anything else by her after that. So I won't read that one, but I have a feeling that it will win. But let's look. A lot of these are actually quite popular. I think one of the biggest complaint people have about this award is that it's a popularity contest. So I feel like even if people haven't read the newest Sally Rooney, they'll vote for her because they've liked her other books. And I think that's a valid complaint. I feel like we should almost have to put it as read before voting for it, but I guess it's not that serious. Well, the Liane Moriarty might have a shot because a lot of people have tried this one. The Wedding People also has a lot of ratings, which let me look what it is about because... Okay, so The Wedding People seems to be a bit of a chick lit, which I was looking for one this summer, and I feel like every single one I was reading, including the Ellen Elderbrand I was saying, was not working for me. So maybe I will add that to my TBR. Let me know if you've read that one, if it was worth it. A lot of people also seem to like Blue Sisters. Is it worth it? That one seems to be more like family drama kind of book. And it's set in New York. I know a lot of people like to read books set in New York. I still have a feeling that the new Sally Rooney is going to win just because of what I said. So next category, since I've read none, so I can't vote. I mean, I could, which again defies the purpose. Okay, historical fiction, also not one of my main genre, but once in a while I'll try some, and once in a while they do work for me. So let's quickly look. Yeah, I haven't read any. I do own The Lion Women of Tehran, which could be somewhere on my shelf. I will try that one, but none of them really ring a bell. So if there's anything that you think is worth checking out, definitely let us know in the comment section. Now we're going to go to mystery thriller, which usually I have read or will read a lot of books in that category. It tends to be hit and miss for me, but I'm stubborn because the ones I love, I love. So which one did I read? All the Colors of the Dark, 5-star. Love that book. It's a very slow burn, character-driven story, but it will make it to my best books of the year. So it looks like I'm going to be voting in that category. I do have First Lie Wins on my TBR, the waiting list at the library. I do have a copy of The Night We Lost Him, but I hated the other book by the author, so I don't know. It's not rated really high either, but I wanted to give her a second shot. Sometimes you don't like one book, but you'll like something else. I feel like I know Sally Hepworth. What did she write that I've read? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I hated that book. Okay, no. Same thing with Lucy Foley. I'm not planning on reading anything else by her. Jason, the last one at the wedding, I read the other book by the author, Hidden Pictures, which a lot of people liked. I liked it until the ending. I hated the ending, which seems to be unpopular, but I don't know if I will give him a second shot. We Solve Murders, I have read. That was the same author that wrote the Thursday Murder Club, which was very wholesome murder mystery. This one is a little less wholesome, but it's still quite character driven, I feel like. It's still the same vibes. I think it's the English accent. I listened to it as an audiobook and it works, you know? The mystery guest better not win. I don't think it's gonna win. I did not like The Maid. A lot of people liked The Maid. It won. Was it last year? Why? Uh, that's mean, but I really didn't get the hype. I was super excited for it, did not care for it. Middle of the Night, the newest Raleigh Sager. I said I wasn't going to read anything else by him, and I stand by that. I will never read anything else by him. So there's that. Listen for the Lie, I do have on my waiting list at the library, and it is quite popular. The reviews are pretty positive, and it seems like it has a shot to win because it has like 200,000 ratings. So I'm excited. I don't think I have. Let me open actually my library app so I can tell you how long I have to wait for my copy. Because I love the library, but sometimes books will be on the waiting list for like 6 months, right? Yep, it's currently saying at least 6 months. So I'm number like 183 on 13 copies. So not before the final round, let's just say that. And the bookshop one I was telling you earlier, it says 14 weeks. So again, probably won't happen before. I mean, it won't happen before the final round, but I'm waiting. Freedom McFadden has 2 books on this list. Like, how does she come out with so many books? Suspicious, especially with some of the allegations that we've heard. But I've read 2 of her books this year and I hated both of them, so I will never try anything else by her. Chip, stop eating the cables. I left the door open. That's my mistake. There's currently 3 cats in this room. Anyway. How to Solve Your Own Murder. I actually like this one. I would still call this kind of wholesome, cozy murder mystery. It goes to a small town. She has to investigate the suspicious death of a family member that she doesn't really know, but she was rich, and if she wants to get the money, she has to, you know. It was good for what it was. I enjoyed myself quite a bit. So there's that. Okay, The God of the Woods. I wasn't going to read anything else by the author because I had seen her other book. I'll put it on the screen. On a list, similar list of the Goodreads Choice Award, and it was in the mystery thriller category. And when I read it, it felt more like family drama kind of vibes, or just drama vibes, really, and not enough murder mystery to sustain my interest. So it feels like it's not the author's fault, but it almost feels like bait and switch. Like it's not what I expected. So this time the reviews are really, really positive. A lot of you told me to pick it up, and now that I know, I will have different expectations. So I'll give it a shot. Actually, do I have it on my waiting list? I do. 22 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Often I get audiobooks from the library because the waiting list is shorter. So I don't even want to know how much longer it would be for the ebook or physical copy. The Heiress. I don't think I'm going to read anything else by the author, to be honest. So personally, I will be voting for All the Colors of the Dark because it deserves it. The God of the Woods actually stands a chance. There's a lot of people that have voted for that one. Honestly, as long as Frida McFadden doesn't win. Which, if she wins, I'm going to be so annoyed. Which, like, I have no skin in the game, but when you can't stand an author and they keep winning, it's just annoying. I feel like she comes out with, anyway, too many books, suspicious stories. Oh my god, all 4 cats in this room. This is too much. Okay, romance. I think I have read some this year, which usually I don't, but there are 2 authors I've read it. Yeah. Okay, Funny Story, Emily Henry. I did like that one. It's not my favorite by her. I still prefer Book Lovers and Beach Read. Everyone has favorites, right? I've read like 5 of her books at this point, and this one is like in the middle for me. It wasn't bad, but I feel like I'm at a point where I struggle reading love stories where there's too much miscommunication. She was engaged to this man. She moved to his town for him, and they bought a house, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up with his female best friend. And he ends up cheating on her or falling in love suddenly with his female best friend the night of his bachelor party. Like, that's anyway. And the girl best friend had a boyfriend, and they end up pretending to date. And I just felt like the miscommunication lasted too long. Like, come on, it was kind of obvious it was becoming a thing, but whatever. I also read Just for the Summer, which I liked. This is part of a series. You don't really have to read all of them. This is my second favorite. The first book is still better. It's so good. It's so good. I was giggling listening to the audiobook. And again, I'm not a huge romance reader. But book 3 was still good. I did enjoy the characters overall, but I don't think I'm going to vote for either of them. I feel like none of them really stood out that much to me, which my prediction is that Emily Henry is going to win. She's super popular in general. Plus this book, I think it has like over 500,000, almost 700,000 ratings. So I think it's going to win. I'm not gonna be mad about it, but like I said, I don't think I'm gonna vote for it, so I'm just gonna skip. I feel like when you've only read, like, 1 or 2, unless you love it, it's my fault making those rules in my head, but whatever. Romantasy, I don't think I've read anything in there. Oh, I did read The Spell Shop. I didn't love it though. I'm gonna be honest. It started cute. Main character has a really small bubble. Her life is spent in this magical library, and she has to escape because there's a fire revolution happening. So she escapes to the small island her family's from, and she brings a bunch of books that she's not supposed to be bringing, magical books. And she's trying to, survive. She makes a little community. It sounded cute, but I got bored. So it's super popular though. So don't really listen to me for that one. There's a second book after Assistant to the Villain. Is that one worth it? Because I've heard mixed things about it, but I wanted to give it a shot. I have a feeling that Sarah J. Maas is going to win because people always vote for her. So we're gonna move on. Fantasy. I'm hoping fantasy and sci-fi. I've read a couple. Let's see. But I feel like I haven't been keeping up that much with the newest releases. Like I said, I was trying to focus on whatever I had on my shelf. Okay, I did read The Dead Cat Tell Assassins, which I had an advanced reader copy of it, and honestly, it was just okay. So it's short though, if you want to give it a shot. When Among Crows, which is even shorter, I tried the audiobook and I couldn't focus on it. It rarely happens, but once in a while, I don't know if I'm going to give it a second shot or not. It was just okay. I'm not going to read anything else by Lev Grossman because I did not care for the Magician series. A Sorceress Comes to Call is probably the one that is the highest on my TBR from this list. I really want to read more by T. Kingfisher. I've read 3 or 4 of her books at this point, and I've enjoyed them, so I want to try more. And this one has really, really fantastic reviews, and I do like witches, so I'm not planning on reading anything else by J. Kristoff. I did love The Tainted Cup. I actually really like that one. I think it's going to be a duology, and either way, I will continue the series. I really loved it. That was a 5-star. You're basically following the assistant to a very quirky woman, think Sherlock Holmes, and she has the job of like figuring out murder mysteries, and she will not leave her room. So E is sent to interview people, look at the room, and E's a glass sniffer. That's what people mainly call him. But he has to smell like a scent to associate all those memories to, and then he can recall everything. So that was good. That was good. I really enjoyed it. I do have an Academy for Liars on my Kindle waiting for me. I have yet to pick it up. I do like Dark Academia fantasy books, so I really want to try that one. Otherwise, is the Book of Doors worth it? I seem to really like stories with magical books and like doors. I don't know why, but sometimes there's just something that works for you. I know a lot of people liked Emily Wilde, so book 2 is there. I didn't care for book 1, so I'm not going to pick it up. And Leigh Bardugo is quite popular, but The Familiar doesn't seem to have great ratings. I feel like the more I read by her, the less into her work I am, so I don't know. I feel like this year there's nothing really big that is there. I do have to say I appreciate that didn't put the unpublished yet book by Brandon Sanderson. Sometimes they do that, and it's so annoying. Like, it wins and it wasn't even out yet. My prediction. I feel like the new TG book, thanks for that, is going to win. Stop it! If the microphone is making weird noises, it's him. You're a little beast. Okay, so my prediction is that either the newest TG Klune is going to win or the second book, Emily Wilde book. But I will personally vote for The Tainted Cup. I don't think I've read that many or enough books to really vote, but I really like that one, so I'm going to give it to it. And hopefully I will have time to get to the other one, actually. Let me check how far I am on the waiting list. I don't think 17 weeks. Probably not going to happen. Fine. But I'm still voting for A Tainted Cup. Okay, sci-fi. Did I read any this year? I feel like I did not read as many as usual. Oh, I didn't have the chance to get to that one, but Moon of the Turning Leaves. I did like book 1. Kind of post-apocalyptic one. The covers are really interesting for sci-fi this year. Damn. Okay, looks like I've only read 1. And I didn't like it, like, at all. I had to put it down, like, 60% into it or something, like The Ministry of Time. I really liked the premise, and I was so bored. Basically, they bring back people that died in history, and they bring them to our time, which, again, sounds cool, but the covers are really cool, honestly. In the beginning of the year, I did want to read I'm Starting to Worry About This Black Box of Doom, and then I heard bad things about it, so I just removed it from my waiting list, and now it seems to have really good ratings. So sometimes you can't listen to everyone, but is it worth it? Basically, this man is offered a lot of money to transport this box by this woman. And there are rules. You can't look inside. You can't ask questions. You can't tell anyone. They have to go right now, and they can't have any like trackable devices. And people say it's a little funny. Is it worth it? I think I'm going to add it to my TBR, and I'll get to know myself if I'm going to like it or not, because the ratings are positive now, but it's not super popular. But a book doesn't need to be popular for me to like it. Is the newest John Marsh worth it? I've read 2 of his books, and I did like it. They were good. So I don't have anything I can vote for, and I just hope that the Ministry of Time doesn't win. I think it's the one that the most people have read, but like, don't do it. Don't do it. Is it me, or I feel like this year nothing that popular came out for sci-fi and fantasy? Usually there's like a bunch of really popular series. I guess it's more like the first books that are coming out now. Let's check or, which I can never pronounce correctly. Oh, Stephen King is there, so I feel like he's gonna win. I didn't even check anything else. I feel like you like it darker. Is that one worth it? I feel like his books are very hit and miss for me, but he's probably gonna win. Murder Road, Simone St. James. I have really enjoyed some of her past books. This one was just okay. Basically, this couple on their honeymoon are on their way, and then they cross this woman who's walking on the side of the road. They stop and they have to bring her to hospital. She dies, and like they're being suspected of murder. And that's the only one I've read. Oh my god. I did read the first book before What Feast at Night. I do have that one on my shelf, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to get to that one before. But I did really like book 1 if you like gothic. I do have The Eyes Are the Best Part on my waiting list at the library. Actually, let me double check how long. 7 weeks. This has been on there for like, oh, see, placed on August 31st. So I've been waiting, okay? I have been waiting. Same thing for Incidents Around the House. I placed on September 7th, but they're saying 2 weeks. Should I read that one? I'll give you the options. I'll probably have a couple that I can get to before the end of the month. So yeah, that's it. So my prediction is Stephen King, as always, of course. Debut novel. Oh, The Ministry of Time was a debut novel. Again, I hope it does. That sounds so mean, but like I really did not like it. And I feel like it's going to win. Maybe the bookshop one. I didn't know it was a debut author. I really want to get to that one, but we saw it's going to take too long. But next year, I will be reading it. Yeah, nothing is standing out to me on this list. So if there's anything you think I should check out or that you've loved, let us know. Audiobook, I have for sure tried some because I tend to get audiobooks from the library because the waiting list is shorter. I know Kristen Hanna is really popular. Oh my gosh. The Women has almost 800,000 ratings. So without even looking at anything else, I feel like she's going to win. She writes historical fiction, which I don't read a ton of. Revenge of the Tipping Point. Tell me you don't know what to write next without telling me you don't know what to read. Okay, I've already mentioned Sally Rooney. I've already mentioned Here One Moment. T.J. Klune. I had The Anxious Generation on my waiting list at the library, and then a lot of you told me that it was not good. Confirm or infirm in the comment section so I know what to do. I'll probably get to it eventually, but you can make me put it higher or lower on my TBR. We Solve Murders. I listened to that one as an audiobook, and it was worth it because, again, the accent. Just for the Summer, I also listened to that one as an audiobook, and it was worth it. And I voted once so far. That's ridiculous. That is like the worst year ever for that. Young adult fantasy. Did I read anything? No. Defiant by Brandon Sanderson. I have yet to read that one. Listen, book 3 was such a huge disappointment. Then the short stories, I've read 2. They both kind of sucked. So like 3 in a row that were not great made me not want to finish the series, which is silly because his endings are usually so good. But yeah, that's it. The other ones, I've been disappointed by the first book, or I just am kind of over it. So yeah, not great. Why fiction? I don't think I've read anything else in that category. Did I? No, I don't usually. Okay, nonfiction. I'm hopeful because I have been reading more and more. Not so much this year, but still, let's see. See, The Anxious Generation is there too. Should I pick it up? You tell me. All in Her Head, that is on my waiting list at the library, actually. 10 weeks, so it's not going to happen, but The Truth and Lies Early Medicine taught us about women's body and why it matters today. I have read a lot of nonfiction on this topic. I really like it. I'll let you know how that one goes, but I am very curious. Thought about adding feel good productivity, how to do more of what matters to you, because that seems interesting. I feel like self-help can be so hit and miss, mostly miss. So we'll see. What else do I have? Oh, I did add recently, I think, Blood, the Science, Medicine, and Mythology of Menstruation, because again, I have been trying to read more books on that topic. Let's see, do I have that one? It's not on my waiting list, but it might be on my wish list because sometimes you don't have enough spots, right? I do. Okay, yes, it's there. Currently, the waiting list is like 18 weeks, but I'm not even on the waiting list. So eventually, she's the same author that wrote the Vagina Bible, which a lot of you told me to pick up, which it's also on my wish list, not my waiting list. And she also has one about menopause, which I've been trying to read more books on the topic because I'm too young for it yet. But it's something that is so neglected. Like we all go through it, most of us. And it's crazy that we know nothing about it. I do have that one I could be reading now if you tell me I should. Otherwise, it's going to happen because, again, any day now I should have a copy. So, for sure. The Message I also have on my waiting list are saying 20 weeks. So, I'm not going to make it before the final round, but it's on my TBR. I had read another book by the author this year, so I did enjoy that. I wanted to try more. How to Tell When We Will Die. It's on Pain, Disability, and Doom. I have 14 weeks to wait. So again, it's not going to happen. But I feel like this year there's a lot of nonfiction that I find appealing. So memoir, I don't think I have read any. Is there anything in there that you think is worth checking out? Let us know. History and biography, I don't think I will have read anything either. No. Let us know if there's anything worth it. Oh, there's one about bookshops. A History of the American Bookstore. Is that worth it? That's it. I feel like there used to be a lot more categories. I feel like I'm the most excited for the books that are currently on my waiting list for the nonfiction category, which is kind of strange. It's usually not my main genre, but there are a bunch of really good ones. And there's a few fantasy sci-fi I want to check out and a few mystery thrillers, but I feel like this year was not really a good year for new releases. Is there anything on there that you really like or anything that is missing that you think should be there? Anything you've read that came out this year that you think is absolutely worth checking out? Because again, I don't feel like 2024 was a good reading year in terms of new releases. Or even in general, to be honest. I feel like this year's Goodreads Choice Award is kind of a little uneventful. Nothing that is that dramatic. I feel like obvious authors like Sarah J. Maas, Stephen King are going to win their categories because they always do. And nothing, again, in my usually main categories are part of big series that I'm excited about or strong competition. There's not much. So I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll put more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, including part of this series where I am choosing my all-time best favorite books per year. So would recommend you check that out, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.